All right then. So hi. How are you today then?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah,
Right,
thank
good.
you.
Yeah, have you had a good week at work?
Yeah, it's been quite good. It's very
Yes.
busy.
Yeah, it sounds like it's
Very busy as
been a busy
always.
one. Yeah, that's why we're carrying out these reviews to make sure everything gets done properly and think about the future.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll just outline the process for today. So we're just going to go over a few issues that we can work together to address to ascertain the root of anything you want to work on, any problems, everything you're doing well,
Yeah.
maybe things you're not doing so well that we can improve. There are a few things we need to work on and that can be resolved. We approach the issues, honestly and openly. So
Okay.
everyone has certain things they need to work on in the workplace from time to time, and
Yeah,
certain things they
sure.
do well. So that's what we're really looking at, going over today. So
All right then.
I'll go over the main points one by one and get a bit of insight from you as to their origin, and then we can agree on an
Okay.
action plan. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Go
All
ahead.
right. Well, thanks for that. Okay, so I've got a few things I'd like to go into here from your performance review so far.
Okay.
So well, the first thing I'd like to go on about is absence levels. They're a little bit higher than average. Well, the national average that is at 9 days a year,
My
and
absence levels.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm just wondering before I get any more input from you about
Mm.
this. Sometimes with higher than average absenteeism at work, that can underlie a deeper problem, which the employee may not feel comfortable outlining. So I'd like to give you a
Right.
chance to do that here. Often when people don't turn up to work, it's because they're struggling with something they don't think people will understand or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you get out in the open, then maybe it's something we could address, or I could get you in touch with some resource or service provider. So yeah, if you've got anything you'd like
Um.
to share in that respect.
Yeah. Well, I know I've been off work quite a lot.
Hmm.
As you know, I've got quite demanding job.
Hmm.
It's physically demanding as
Yeah.
well. Um, I do get pretty tired when I go in,
Hmm.
and I've got there are I suppose I've got a couple of issues at
Yeah.
home.
So what are they?
Um,
Just say.
I suppose well, my daughter's not been well,
Hmm.
and sometimes it's been a problem getting carers for her,
Hmm.
and I've had to just hang on and look for a
So this
carer
has
and
sort
then
of
get
practically
into
affected your
work.
ability to
So
get to work, would you say?
it
Some days.
yeah, it has. It's just and
Hmm.
it's made it really difficult. Yeah, and Um, and I've been a bit worried about
Hmm.
it, so I think
Yeah, and obviously
that's
that could have a
affected.
that could have a kind of knock-on effect
Mm.
on your performance as well. So this doesn't sound like something we take a punitive disciplinary approach with at all. So would you say this is something that could be improved with access to some sort of resource, maybe to help with the actual healthcare provision in place for
Improve.
your daughter, possibly?
Well, I am working on it.
Hmm.
We are looking to get some regular care for her now because
Hmm.
my partner works as well, so that could help.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not sure about the healthcare provision you're
Hmm.
talking about, though. I'd like a bit if you've got any other
Yeah, well,
ideas.
there's a helpline that I could go
Mm.
into a bit of detail about later that could get
Oh
you in touch with
right.
someone that could help. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's just
Mm.
something that it's not like your absence levels are really high, or
No,
or it's
I'm
really
aware I've
interfering with
been
things.
off.
But yeah.
I've always explained why I've been
Hmm.
late or why I've been off, but I know it's improving a little
Hmm.
bit.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not at this point. It's not a
But
serious problem, but we'd like
I
to,
hope not.
no, it's not. We'll just
Mm.
we can sort of nip it in the bud and hopefully get something sorted out. So we'll go on about that a little bit later. We'll go into some more detail about how to rectify that a bit later.
Yeah,
It's
any
also
if you
another.
could give me some ideas
Mhm.
about help available,
Yeah,
that would be
definitely.
fine. Yeah.
We'd also like to discuss how you get on with people socially at work. How do you
Um.
feel? How integrated do you feel within the workplace? Do you feel that your working relationships are sort of where they should be, or?
Well, as you know, as I said, it's a pretty demanding job,
Mhm.
and I am responsible for the team. So I've got a lot to do,
Mhm.
and I think I take my job seriously and work hard. But I know sometimes it does. Some things do get me
Yeah.
down,
Would you
not
say
being
there's
able to
ever?
meet my targets and
Mhm.
things, and maybe I'm a bit. I suppose I want the job done
Mhm.
properly, and I,
Yeah.
I try and convey that to the team. But maybe they think I don't know, maybe they think I'm a bit aggressive about that. I don't
Mhm.
know. I try not to be, but
Yeah, I mean, I've,
I
I've
think they think I am, but I'm not, you know.
mm, I mean, I've heard, I've seen one
Mm,
report from your team leader about a sort of incident, well, an issue you
mm.
maybe had with another employee. Would you like to go into that, where there was some,
Well,
maybe some argument that may have got a bit out of
yeah,
hand
I
and,
think I'd asked him about
Mhm.
something that we would um some some aspect of the job. I'm just trying to think when it was. It was about some goods that had
Mhm.
been stored, and
Yeah.
we had to get them dispatched, and they were responsible. I think they'd gone missing, or
Mhm.
there was some issue, and this person, it sort of led back to this
Yeah.
person, and I went up to them and I tried to get it resolved because I had my deadline to
Mhm.
meet,
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
think you don't know. I mean, they told me, they said I was being really pushy, but I
Mhm.
wasn't. I
Yeah.
just
So do you feel
wanted
there was
the
a kind
job
of
done. So
misunderstanding there? Yeah.
yeah, I think so. I
Mhm.
suppose looking back, I could have been a bit more um, I suppose more patient with them, but I
Mhm.
just like to cut to the chase and
Yeah, I
get
can
the
see
job
that.
done. And I don't. They maybe yeah, they probably didn't take it well. And I think I think because of the stresses and strains
Mhm.
I've been under, that I suppose my attitude has been let's just get everything done.
Yeah.
So it's got to be everything's got to be
Mhm.
right in my job. I've got to keep my
Yeah, no, I can see
performance
that. So,
indicators up, and then I go home and I've got get home
mhm.
and I've got problems there. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's been tough.
I can see how a few things are sort of, you know,
It's all like
influencing
combined,
performance
and
there. Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
But do you feel that that's sort of been resolved with that member of staff? Because I've heard
well,
that things are sort of all right now, even if there was an initial
I think
argument. So,
so. I mean, I don't. I think there's still a bit of tension
mhm.
because they don't, they don't ask me to things, or
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know I'm probably a little bit excluded, but. Yeah, really, it
Mhm.
doesn't always bother me because I'm there. I just like to do my job and do
Mhm.
it well. But yeah, there's been some good signs, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm talking to them
yeah.
now in a more constructive
Yeah,
way.
so you've got a basic
I
sort of
think
working relationship with people,
I
but
think
you feel
that's
it could,
improving.
you
Yeah,
know, but it could possibly be worked on maybe in collaboration
I
with other people,
expect
possibly,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
And you
just
know,
trying not to be pushy.
yeah, of
If I'm
course.
described as pushy, that's not good, is it
Hmm.
really? Um,
Yeah, and I mean, you know, the better you get on with people, the more effectively you work. So that's definitely something we could sort of link
yeah,
in there.
yeah, because I think sometimes they resist what I'm
Hmm.
saying. If we all get on well together as a
Yeah.
team, then we can work
Hmm.
better
Yeah, I can see
together.
that.
Mm.
I'd like to talk sort of generally about your performance, and there's definitely, you know, a lot of praise in this
Oh
respect.
God,
There's
yeah,
definitely
I've read it.
some
Yeah, it's
positives.
good.
Yeah, I mean, you're working to a decent performance level in
Mm.
line with industry standards, and of course, you've successfully completed your probationary period, so that's good.
Yeah, that's true. I have
But I'd like
done.
to say,
Yeah.
you know, my role as a manager
What?
is to get the best out of my
Yeah.
employees, and I've heard before that you've got a desire to be a team leader at some point, and
Yeah. Yeah.
would you like to talk about that?
I think I deserve to.
Hmm.
Really, I've been doing well, and I think that's why I think my indicators are my
Hmm.
performance indicators are high, and I know I had that little problem with the team with
Yeah.
the other members, but I think overall, I think I make a decent leader, and they
Hmm.
do listen to me,
Yeah,
and I
definitely.
can get problems resolved. I
Hmm.
can do that um, when I need to. So I think that shows my ability. I
Hmm.
think
Okay. Well,
I'd
thank you
make
for
a good team leader.
going into that. I'd
Hmm.
sort of like to say that in terms of your performance, before we look at any promotion, we'd probably look at improving your picking rate by a
Right.
slight margin, really. But you know, you're
Yeah.
definitely
Okay.
in the kind of
All
realm where
right.
that could be
I
improved. So
thought
there is
that was
scope for.
okay, to be
Yeah,
honest.
no, it's
Yeah.
definitely decent, but there are
Yeah.
certain people in the team that are, you know, objectively performing at a certain level. So we'd want to get you up
All
to that
right.
level before
Okay.
you'd be considered for that. But there's definitely scope for that. So we could
No,
go
that's
into
good
that
to hear. It's good
a
to
little bit
hear.
later.
Mm.
Do you feel that's a a summary of the main points you've mentioned, or is there anything else? You know,
Yeah.
maybe with your personal life that may be affecting
Mm,
work, or
I suppose I was a little bit concerned about not. It's good that I am.
Mhm.
Hopefully, I am being considered for
Mhm.
promotion. Because I'd hate to think that any any sort of any, if you like, discussions or
Mhm.
arguments within the team are going to affect me. because I am making every effort to
Yeah,
improve
no, I can see
that. We're
that.
getting on a lot better, and I think overall I'd make a good team leader.
Hmm.
They do respect my judgment as
Hmm.
well, so I think, yeah. Um, so hopefully that will happen, and that's one of the main concerns, along with looking after, making sure that I can look after my daughter,
Hmm.
which is
Yeah, and would you
was
say
worrying a couple of months ago.
yeah, would you say if that element of stress was removed from your life at the moment, that maybe your performance could
I think
improve a little
so.
bit, or I'm not saying it's
Yeah,
definitely not a huge issue, but maybe it could give like a
yeah.
little bit of improvement. Would you say
I think
possibly?
I'd be able to focus more, and it
Hmm.
would help me to relax, because I'm really anxious at the moment about. Well, I was worse a few months ago about just
Hmm.
getting home to relieve the strain on my partner and
Yeah,
take
no, I
over
can see
the
that.
duties of caring for my daughter. So yeah, she's not been well for a while.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think any help there would benefit what me at
Hmm.
work.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I'll definitely
all right. But I
bear that in
don't know
mind.
what you can do. So,
Yeah, no, well, I'm gonna go into that now. There's a few things in terms of not merely improve performance, but some sort of developmental points, and in terms of resolving certain issues and moving forward. There's a few things I've considered
mm,
to implement. How do you feel about taking part in a mentoring sort of system? Maybe having like a sort of buddy relationship with a senior member of staff,
all
possibly with
right.
an observational element, just so you could work on a few sort of minor techniques, just to maybe improve your picking rate a little bit. Would you be
Yeah,
open to that?
well, it sounds okay. Yeah,
Hmm.
have you got any information you could send me about it, or is
Yeah,
it just
definitely.
you?
There are official.
So who would you pick? You pick someone
I've got a
that I got
few.
on with
Yeah,
naturally
we probably
as my buddy.
want to go through that in more depth in terms of practically implementing it. We'd want to look at who you really click with,
Yeah,
and whose performance is also up there
okay.
to allow you to move forward as
Well,
well.
I
So
think if it's going to benefit me
mhm.
ultimately, then yeah,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think that's a good idea.
Okay. Also, thought of possibly implementing a little bit of performance monitoring, just to ensure that there's just in tandem with your desire for becoming team leader, we probably need to see
All right, you
you
mean
know
check my work?
yeah, but
Oh,
not in a sort of
right.
punitive way, just to make sure that you're
Okay.
performing at the level that we require. And the general
Mm.
process will work like this. So I mean, we'd start off by having fortnightly assessments of your
Mm.
performance and your picking rate, and this will focus on meeting targets on your part, with looking to see a kind of improvement in the realm of, say, an extra sort of 15 to 20% in terms of your picking rate, and
Okay.
how quickly you
Mm.
get the work done. So if we can see a definite sort of observable improvement on your part, there's definitely scope for potentially talking about a team leader position at some point. And after this stage of the performance management process is followed, then future performance reviews can be
Mm.
conducted in a slightly different vein, perhaps one that is more focused on your progression and development. And and as we get into it, I can give you more of a concrete idea of how that will unfold. How do you feel
Yeah.
about that as a process?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit disappointing. I'm going to have to be, it's a bit like being monitored, isn't it? But I suppose I can see that
Yeah, I mean,
it's going
it's
to
not meant.
benefit me if
Yeah,
I want to
definitely.
be a team leader. I guess that this is what I'm going to have to go
Yeah,
through.
it's meant more as a
So
way for you
I'm okay with it. Yeah,
get the most out of your performance, rather than a criticism. I wouldn't want
yeah, I
to
suppose
come
I
across like
agree.
that.
That's fine
Hmm.
then. Yeah, that's all right.
Also, in terms of your difficulties with providing care for your daughter and any personal issues you've got, there is an employee helpline which I could
All right,
give you the details
okay.
for. I mean, we've already got your email on file, obviously, and I could
Yeah.
get someone in admin to forward that to you with information about various groups you could possibly get involved with, or just say someone to contact
Yeah.
if things are proving a bit difficult and you feel it's affecting work, and particularly if it's affecting your ability to get to work, and actually providing a practical solution to the sort of issues that you've got. Really, would you be open to
Yeah, I
that, or
suppose it
would
depends
you
on.
want to access that in your own time?
Yeah, I
Or
think in my own
okay,
time, because really, I think, well, as I said before, we're doing
hmm
all right now.
yeah,
Things are a lot better. We're just going to we'll have a carer soon
hmm
in place, so that will take the strain off us both. And if there's anything supplementary to that, then
hmm
I'd like to look at it myself. Yeah, but if that's okay,
okay,
yeah.
yeah. There's yeah, no, that sounds good. If it's something you could deal with on your own, that'd
Yeah, I prefer
that'd
to
probably
do
be
it that
beneficial.
way if you don't mind. Yeah.
Also, one last
Mm.
point, would you be open to, you know, maybe taking part in some sort of inclusion activities to help you maybe integrate more with people socially? You know, there are sort of corporate charity events that, you know, there's been a quite a wide attendance across the company, and some people in our department maybe haven't been attending.
Yeah.
So would you be open to taking
Well,
part
I
in that
know
a
I've
little
not been, but I think
Mhm.
I've explained the reasons I've
Mhm.
not been before because of all those pressures I've got.
Mhm.
You know, sometimes it's just not my thing, to be
Yeah.
honest. But I would make every effort
Yeah.
to go, yeah,
Mhm.
because I know it's going to benefit me again, isn't it? And
Yeah, exactly. And
it'll
to have a
create
kind
a
of
better sort of cohesion
yeah.
with the team. So I would, yes.
And you know, we've got to look at
Mm.
everything holistically. Like, you know, the more socially integrated and
Mm.
the more you gel with people socially, the better your performance and the
Yes,
better people
I
respond
expect
to you.
that
So,
too, yeah.
so definitely.
Mm.
Is there anything
Yeah.
else you'd like to
Um,
go into?
no, I think that you've covered all the main
Mhm.
points, and if you can send me that
Yeah, definitely. I'll
information
be in touch with all the
via
relevant.
email, that would be great.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll be in touch with all the relevant
Okay.
information there. But okay, I think I've got everything on here. So if you could just
Yeah, so you want me
just
to
sign there, just
okay.
just to let you know that you've agreed on the points
Here.
we talked to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, will I get a copy?
Yes, yeah, of course.
Great.
But yeah, I'll let you get back to work, and you know, we'll be in
Yeah.
touch, and I look forward to
Okay.
speaking to you again.
Well,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
Cheers then. Bye for now.